Hey, what is going on guys? Monstep here and welcome back for a new video where I will give you 10 different tips. I know Eliminate has released the same video earlier this morning. I mean, it depends of your time zone, but for me it was this morning and I'm not trying to copy him whatsoever. I was planning to do this video a couple days ago for a friend, but I didn't have the time to do so. I'm saying that for the people who will think that I'm just stealing content. Also guys, I have a Twitch channel. If you want to see me live on FL Studio, feel free to follow me there. And yeah, let's begin. So I'm pretty sure it happens to us a lot of time when you have to create multiple automations to do the exact same thing, to add the exact same values and curves, and this can be pretty time consuming and also really boring to do, especially if you have a really long automations. And of course you can copy and paste an automation to another by double clicking on the automation you want, by clicking here, copy state, and open another automation and then paste the state. But there is another much faster way to do it. Let's take an example. So I have 3 different sounds here that I assign into 3 different mixer channels, and I also loaded one fuzzy filter on each of them. All I have to do now is to open one of the filters and make an automation to the knob that I want. In my case, it will be the cutoff frequency knob. Right click, create automation clip. Now for the 2 other filters, what I have to do is to right click on any knob that I want, but this time choose link to controller. By clicking here, you will see the drop down list of all the automations that you have into your project, and you can select the one that you want. So in my case, it will be this one. And I'm pretty sure by default the remove conflict here is enabled. Make sure to disable it. I don't remember exactly what it does. All I know is that you have to disable it and then hit accept. Do the same for the other filter. And now I'm gonna add some random values. Like I said, you can literally link any controller to any automations you want. Why not linking maybe, I don't know, the bandpass knob of the filter? Of course, it's possible to do that. Even with the high pass. I think you got it. Another really cool thing with the link to controller is that you can invert the link by clicking on this arrow and choose inverted. You have other features. Honestly, I never used them before, so I clearly have no idea of what it does. But if you're smart enough, you can create a group and link all the sound to the group. And you can load your effects into the group, so no need to link some controllers or to create multiple automations. Most of producers are using other VSTs than the ones coming by default with FL Studio, so I will call that like a third-party VST, like Serum for example. And if you right click onto something, as you can see, it doesn't have the drop down menu of FL Studio. What if you want to create an automation, let's say on the level knob? You can't. Actually, it's possible to do that. This is where the remote control feature comes handy. The remote control icon on FL Studio is this one at the top of the overlay. So the way that it works, there are 2 ways to work with it, but I'm just going to show you only one. So the way that it works, you have to tweak a little bit the knob that you want, or click on the control that you want, and then right click on this icon. There you have the right click menu of FL Studio. You can create an automation and link to controller. For users that are using older version of FL Studio, I think below FL20, you shouldn't have this icon at the top, but it's still there, it's just somewhere else. So you have to go into tools, then last tweaked, and there you go. Working on a song can take hours and hours of production, and you can also end up using a ton of audio clips that you're not even using anymore. And sometimes it can take a lot of CPU usage. So the trick to quickly delete audio clips that you're not using anymore is by going into Tools, then Macros, and finally Purge unused audio clips. Hit that, and all the audio clips that aren't on your playlist and aren't using on your project will be deleted. Of course, you can also do it manually. If you hold Shift and slide your left click to highlight the scenes or audio clips you want, and then hold Alt plus Delete to delete everything. So the Smart Disable will allows you to automatically turn off all the VSTs that are not playing at the moment or aren't using on your project. So go to Tools, Macros again, and then choose Switch Smart Disable for all plugins. But keep in mind, if you already did that before and then you add multiple others plugins, the new plugins that you have just added will not have the Smart Disable enabled. By opening the VST, by clicking on the arrow and hit Smart Disable, or you can once again go to Tools, Macros, and Smart Disable. The shortcut for that is that you have first need to click on Tools and then press M plus D. So now let's say that you have a sample without any information about the pitch and you want to know the pitch to feed it into your production. What you can do is to open the sampler and then hit Ctrl plus E to automatically load it into Edison. By the way, Edison will be into the master channel right there. On Edison, make a right click, go to region and then detect pitch region. So Edison will give you all the notes of the sample. Usually the first one is the root note. So on this one, on my sample, it says it's E, and in fact it is E. But sometimes it's not that accurate, especially for vocals, because a singer doesn't really sing a single note. So every time that the singer will change a note, Edison will calculate that, and sometimes you cannot know exactly what is the root note of the acapella. But use this tip in your advantage. Let's take an example. So I quickly wrote a melody into FL keys, and let's say that I want same melody over to my sample. So of course I can copy and paste it. And as you can hear, it doesn't sound right. It's because the root key of the sample is not C. It was recorded using another note. So with the pitch detect region, let's make once again Ctrl E, right click regions, and then detect pitch regions. So the first note is F. By knowing that, I can come back to the sampler, click here and make a right click over F, which is here. And now by doing that, I just brought back the root key to C. Now let's play it. And it sounds right. So I'm pretty sure you already know about the make unique option, so you can duplicate a pattern or an audio clip, doesn't really matter. Click here and then you can make it as unique. Now you just cloned the sample and you can do whatever you want to this sample and it will not affect the original one. But what if you want to work and to isolate only one piece of the sample for maybe a vocal chop, for example? So slice the piece that you want. So for myself, I want this shot here. And then click again at the top left corner here. But this time, instead of using the make unique, let's click on the make unique as sample. Then save it where you want. And now if I open my sliced piece, as you can see, I only have the shots and nothing else. Of course, I can do whatever I want and it doesn't affect the original sample. Sometimes while working on a song, you want to clone all the effects you have to a mixer channel to another by keeping the same settings that you have made. The way to do it is by selecting the channel you want, make a right click over it, and then go to File and put your cursor over Save Mixer Track State As and drag and drop it to another, and just like that you have cloned the entire channel that you want. Now for pitch bending stuff, I'm used to use the master pitch at the top here, so right click and create automation clip and start working on it. But since it's the master pitch, that means the pitch of all your plugins will be changed. And if you want to disable that on a certain sound or plugins, all you have to do is to open the plugin that you want, click on the cogwheel here, and then here, disable the main pitch. And if you want to change the pitch of a certain sound without touching the others, all you have to do is to open again the plugin that you want, and you can change the semitones into this plugin. And for the plugins that doesn't have this pitch knob wheel integrated to the plugin, you have to click on the cogwheel and change the range, the pitch range at the top here. That's it for today's video, guys. Hope you liked it. Thanks for watching. As always, if you have any questions, leave it down in the comment section and I will try to help you if I can. See you into the next one. Peace.